There we go. Hey guys, welcome to RECON. It's Thursday already, which means tomorrow's Friday. We've got a good one for you. This could happen at any particular time. I can't show you the slide. I'll show you that later. Now, this is an inbound call. You don't know the person. It's a potential seller, and we want these inbound calls. So is it Kelly or Don? You've got it in the chat. Would you read the conversation to the group, and we'll get going on this?
Yeah, hi guys. So you receive a call from a potential seller who says this, I want to sell my home. So let me ask you, do you believe in staging? So we'll get started with that. Our first participant today is Robert, and he's up with Don.
Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi. Are you a real estate agent?
Yeah, this is Your Story Real Estate. Sorry, this is Robert. I'm
Ring,
don't
ring.
Very good.
answer that
Very
one.
good.
Marvelous. Marvelous. I want to sell my home. So let me ask, do you believe in staging?
Well, is staging important to you, Don?
It's important enough to ask for sure.
Okay. Well, tell me, is staging to you something that you believe that your home's going to need?
Well, it seems like agents think so, and there are agents that don't think so. What do you think?
Well, typically what we do, and I would ask, would it be helpful to you? I have a stager that works with me that I can send out to you at no cost that will evaluate your home and tell you if there's things that need to be done. Would that be helpful to you?
You know, I don't think so. It doesn't sound like we're a good fit, but thanks for taking my call.
So,
Have a good day.
Don,
Hung up.
Like,
Who's next?
Next, we have Susan with me. Ring, ring.
Good morning. This is Susan with Denny Grimes team. How can I help you?
Yeah, hey, I want to sell my home. So let me ask you, do you believe in staging?
Um, Let me ask you a couple quick questions. Is staging something that you are interested in?
I might be.
Okay.
Tell me what that entails.
It can entail different things to different people. If you'll indulge me just a quick minute, are you looking to buy a house after you sell your house or during this process as well?
Yeah, we are going to buy a house.
Okay, so I assume you're out looking at homes or looking at them online at this point. Would that be safe to say?
It is, but can we go back to the staging thing? Do you do that if I want to sell my house?
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to here. When you look
Well,
for a
look,
house,
I appreciate you answering my question or not really answering it. So we're just going to look elsewhere. Thank you.
Click. Number 3. Who's next?
Next, we have Mark with Don.
ring, ring.
Good morning. This
Ring,
is
ring.
Mark with Keller Williams.
Hey, Mark, I want to sell my home. So let me ask you, do you believe in staging?
Well, Don, that's a great question. And frankly, it doesn't matter what I think. It's more, what do you think? So can I ask you, how do you feel about staging?
Well, seems to be 50-50 split between you realtors. And what does that mean?
Hmm. Well, I
You
mean,
can't be the quiet one.
some some realtors, I guess, do like it and some don't. But again, I want to ask, how do you feel about staging?
Well, what does that entail? I mean, to what degree? Do I just dust or do I spend $10,000 to fix it up?
Well, there's a whole football field of things you can do to stage, but what would you like to know about
I
it?
don't know. I'm asking you the questions. I feel, yeah.
Sounds like on a cul-de-sac. I think you just hung up. Who's next?
Yeah, I'll call you back.
Next, we have Mike Brennan with me. Ring, ring.
Good morning. This is Mike Brennan.
Hey, Mike, are you a realtor?
I am. I'm with Keller Williams. How you doing, sir? How can I help you?
Oh, hey, well, I want to sell my home, so let me ask you, do you believe in staging?
Uh, well, first, real quick, man, this number that you called at, is that a good number to reach you back with in case we get disconnected?
Yeah, that's it.
And I'm sorry, may I get your name, please?
Kelly?
Hi, Kelly. Thanks for calling. I appreciate your time. So your question of staging, if I could just get some clarity, what exactly do you mean by staging? Can you tell me, there's different ways to approach this. I'm just trying to get a clear idea of what your understanding of staging is.
Well, do you believe in staging is what I'm asking.
I, yeah, of course, I want the house to look, presentable and dress it up
Okay,
and
well, what does all that entail? Tell me what that means.
well, if is your house, are you occupied in the house? Are you living in the house
All right,
currently?
one more. We'll come back to that,
Next.
Mike. Mike, I liked a couple things you did there. So we'll do one more, then we'll start. I'll let Matt start peeling the onion. But I got a little lesson for you. Next.
Next, Tiffany Lord with Dawn.
Ring, ring.
Hi, this is Tiffany Lord with Keller Williams, Noah Northlake. How can I
Hi,
help you?
Tiffany, I want to sell my home. So let me ask, do you believe in staging?
Well, Donna, I really think that depends. Each situation is a little bit different. So I think it calls for taking a look at the house. But may I ask you, what do you consider staging?
Well, I've gone on the internet and talked to a bunch of different agents, and some say all you got to do is pick up the dirty laundry, and others want me to spend $10,000.
Right?
What
Well,
do you think?
I think there is a football field of plays that you can make, but you want to focus on kicking the field goals and making the plays that really count. So with that being said, is there a good time for me to come over and take a look at the home so I can make the best suggestions to you?
Gosh, you're the first one to ask that. Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
Time. Kind of an interesting scenario. So before we start peeling the onion, is it realistic to somebody call and ask you a question out of the blue like that, whether it be staging or what's your marketing plan, what's your fee, et cetera, et cetera? And you guys did better than the average bear, I think, because most agents, in my opinion, Matt, they'd fall into the question or answering a question, well, of course. I mean, I believe in a lot of things, right? So peel back a little of the onion and I'll give them a little lesson.
There's a couple things that I wanted to say multiple times, which is I believe in staging as much as I believe in magic. But then, but really, I would ask them, what do I believe in staging? What do you mean by do I believe in staging?
That's point one. Do you think staging means different things for different people? So two people picked up on that. Good point, Matt. Keep going.
Yeah. So what do you mean by do I believe in staging? They're going to tell me something. They're going to say something is what I mean. And then based off of what they say, at some point, I'm likely going to ask them, well, if there were advantages to doing certain things to the property to effectuate a sale, would you be open to them? Then I'm going to go for the meeting or something along those lines, but I'm not going to tell them like, hey, this is what we're going to do. Denny?
Yeah, it happens a lot of times at the table. We talked about this. It's been a while. Hey, you hold open houses? Oh, you betcha by golly, we do. We do one every 15 minutes, every day of the week, and twice on Sunday. And then you just walked off a cliff, right? Because they don't like open houses. So let me show you the conversation in a slide format. It's behind me. You may or may not be able to read it. He's asking the question, but this is what he's thinking. I sure hope they're not a staging agent. I don't want to do a thing to get my place ready to sell. So you guys did a good job of trying to be a little bit, careful to answer, but you have to do something. Now, let me share the lesson with you. When many times I use the analogy of going out for a milkshake, but in my mind, this is what I'm thinking. I go way back to when cartoons were black and white, then they came out to color. I'm thinking of Lady and the Tramp. Anybody remember Lady and the Tramp? You're on your first date. Now, here's what I want you to understand in case anyone has kind of an ethical pull here. When you're in a relationship, notice the hands are holding hands. This isn't a business relationship, at least unless they're politicians, maybe. Okay, it's reciprocal. And I think when somebody asks you, hey, look, what's your religion, what's your political beliefs? I don't think in a relationship, reciprocal relationship that's it's built on trust and long term, you'd say, well, what do you want it to be? However, when we're transactional, does our opinion matter more than theirs? So you're not being unethical. There's no double standard to find out how they feel about that. For example, Matt had a very similar response. Do I believe in staging? Well, it really depends. I mean, most of my sellers believe in getting the most they can for a home. Are you one of them?
Mhm.
Or if staging would give you more money. I mean, so you guys are going down that path, but now as we go, and anybody can go again if we don't have it full, now you know what they're thinking. I want to see if the conversation changes, Matt.
I'll give you guys a question that I've asked before, but I'm not going to give you context. So if you use it, I want to see where you go with it and see if you shoot yourself in the foot. At some point, you ask a client, you would ask, well, what is most important to you? If you could only have one thing, getting it sold for the most amount of money or just getting it sold. Try to use that somewhere in there if you can, if it gets there. But I want to see if you shoot yourself in the foot by doing it.
Okay, who's next?
Next, we have Jose. Jose's up with me. Ring, ring.
This is Jose with Keller Williams. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
Hey, Jose, this is Kelly. I want to sell my home. So let me ask, do you believe in staging?
Kelly, I'll get to your question. In case we get disconnected, what's a good number to reach you back at?
Blah, blah, blah.
Got it. Kelly, what's your last name?
My last name's Everhart.
Got it. Kelly, when you say staging, what do you mean by that?
Well, maybe tell me what that entails on your part. You're the real estate agent.
Got it. Do you see any value in possibly staging if you could get more money for your property?
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
hey, man, thanks very much. We're gonna look elsewhere.
Before I let you go, can I ask you one more question?
One more.
Why did you call me and ask me about staging? What's got you thinking about it?
Well, I don't want to spend any money.
Okay. If it was not necessary, will you be open to a conversation?
I think we could probably do something like that.
Time, Matt.
At the end, good catch, Jose. I would have just changed the words. When you called me to ask me about staging, what was it you were hoping to hear? And they might not be willing to tell you exactly, but it's just like I've said before I answer your question, what assumptions have you made about staging? Okay. It might be a little bit of like a grasp at straws if to get inside their head is what I'm saying. You might be grasping at straws, but I need to know what the premise of the question is. Do I believe in staging? Do you want the most amount of money? If you just want to get the home sold, I don't believe in it. Denny?
Yeah, I was a little surprised that Kelly's getting ready to hang up. Another good response for any question you got kind of one of these tricky questions is, well, it really depends. I'm kind of split on the issue. Where do you stand?
Mm-hmm.
That gives you flexibility because it really does matter. Remember, these are transactions, right? And so I went on a listing appointment one time. This was a multi-million-dollar house in Naples. And the seller was so relieved. I was there. They asked me, well, what do you think? I said, and generally speaking, we talk about this all the time that, the house looked great, but, the kitchen was outdated, blah, blah, blah. Well, the last realtor was there, made the recommendation that was like a $70,000 redo. Do you think they want to hear that? That one didn't. So that's how that listing agent didn't get it. So stay neutral until you know which way to go.
Also, investing all this money doesn't effectuate a higher price, guys. You can't guarantee it. So stop pretending it does. It will make your job easier to some degree if it's positioned correctly, but it's not going to net them more money. They might spend 70 to Denny's point and they might get back 30. Sorry, that was not a wise investment in money. I would have rather you just positioned it lower and you would have net more.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. We talk about it all the time. And you guys, coaches in the chat, put in the cost value report. You guys should look at that. I don't want to take the time to talk about it now. Let's go number next.
Number next, we have Muhammad with Don.
Ring, ring.
Hi, this is Mohammed with Keller Williams New Tampa. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, I want to sell my home, so let me ask, do you believe in staging?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, who do I have a pleasure speaking with?
My name's Don
Don, could I get your last name, please?
Aldrich.
Aldrich. Hi, Don. Yeah, so what was your question again? Sorry.
Well, I want to sell my home, so do you believe in staging?
Don, staging. What do you mean when you say staging? What are you hoping to hear from me?
Let me just interject here really fast, Matt. I would probably say, well, it depends. Let's define the term. When you say it depends, you've kind of answered the question, but you want some clarity. You can't always, every time they ask a question, ask them a question. It's not pickleball.
Yep.
What do you think on that, Matt?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to answer your question, but I need to know how you define it.
Yeah.
That's it. And if they don't answer that, ask again. It's one of those questions where if they don't answer the question, I'm going to ask it again. That doesn't. You like in Muhammad's case.
Well, that's the same question. Like, do you believe in getting gas in your car? Well, it depends.
Yeah, right. It depends on. Am I on E or am I on F? Which letter am I touching? Right.
And you might be on F if you don't stage.
There you go.
That was a humor, bad one.
I got it.
Muhammad, just say, well, it depends. Tell me more about what staging to you.
Well, it depends, Don. Tell me more about what staging is to you.
Well, I've done a lot of research on the internet. It seems like we got to pick up our dirty laundry, and then the other end of it is I need to spend $100,000 to fix up the house. I'm just not sure where to go.
Now, Don, I'm coming to $100,000 you're spending to go. How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, I'm just using that as an example. There are agents who believe in it. Are you?
Okay. Well, Don, like I said from the beginning, it does depend on where we are. Now, Don,
I don't believe you have to do anything to get your home sold.
Right. I don't agree in throwing good money after bad.
Yeah, because he gave you the bait. Oh, some agents believe you got to do it. I don't. Well, the good news is, Don, I don't believe you have to do anything to get the home sold. The question is, ... Muhammad, what is most important to you?
We've already told you his mindset. Now you're got a peek into his mindset. How is the conversation going to be different?
I would want to schedule an appointment to go see him. Like I see
No. Hey, Don.
Yeah.
I don't believe you have to do anything to get the property sold. The question is, what is most important to you? Is it purely getting the home sold, or is it getting the absolute most amount of money out of it that you can?
No, net me the most.
Okay. Muhammad, what I would say then is, so if there were some advantages to doing a few things but not spending $100,000, how would you feel? Muhammad?
Yes. Don, if I were to tell you the advantage of spending a few dollars.
I didn't say spend a few dollars. I said if there were an advantage to doing a few things and
If
not
there were
having,
if there were advantage of changing few things.
Got
Sorry,
it.
I lost you guys.
That's all right. Let's go.
Yeah, my
That's all right.
brain's
All right.
froze.
Next. Thank you, Mohammed.
Next, we have Tanner. He's up. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Tanner with Tanner Homes team. How can I help you?
Hey, Tanner. Listen, I want to sell my home. So let me ask you, do you believe in staging?
That's great to hear. So help me understand when you say staging, what do you mean exactly?
Well, I read somewhere that I need to make the inside of my house look really nice with either new furniture or my own furniture, and that will help it sell and it'll net more money for me.
Okay, I mean, to tell the truth, you're doing the right thing by exploring options. Now, let me ask you this. I'm sorry I didn't catch your name.
That's
My
okay.
bad.
Skip that just a second.
All
What
right.
did he say there, Tanner? What did he say? He said net most money.
Yes, that's correct.
is that
So
important to you, Kelly?
Start driving on that road.
that is correct. So obviously, Kelly, you mentioned you want to net the most amount of money.
No, he didn't. Is it
You-
important?
you-
He said.
I
He
wasn't
said
even gonna go there. I was gonna
no.
close differently, but
I understand, but you just said you just used the exact wrong words. He didn't even say that. He said do some things to net more money. Is that important to you?
so okay, so is that important to you, Kelly? Let me take it
Yeah,
from
you
there.
better believe it.
Now, let me ask you this though. Would it be helpful to walk you through exactly what works in today's market so you could make the most amount of money as you want, obviously? 15, 20 minutes most. No obligation, no commitment.
Did you say days
Hey,
on the
thanks,
market?
man, but I'm gonna call you back.
All right.
No problem.
Matt, did he say days on the market or mishear him?
Yeah, no, that wasn't referenced at all.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on one second.
No, not days, Danny. I said, would it be helpful to walk you through exactly what works in today's market?
Oh, today's market. Okay. I think
Oh, okay, yeah, today's market. Got it. Well, but here's the thing though. You said, is it important to you? And he said, you bet. And then you went down the, well, would it be at all helpful, blah, 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 blah. So, okay. So I'm going to go back to your initial question, Kelly. Do I believe in staging? I believe that when sellers, their goal is to net the absolute most amount of money, that there can be some value in doing some things to prepare the home for the market. The question is, would you be open to it if it didn't cost you a lot of money?
Yeah, I'd be open to it.
Okay, wonderful. Would you hate me if I asked to meet with you?
Of course not.
Okay.
it's a perfect transition for the appointment, right?
Yep. That's it.
I mean, the issue is, another question you can think about is, and you think about it like it's from this level. If you were going to sell your car, would you at least wash it?
Mm-hmm.
If you got more money for your car, Cars R Us or whatever that thing is, or We Buy Used Car.
Yeah,
would you vacuum out the onions, the Fritos in the carpet?
Well, you could, guys, remember when the other day when I gave you the analogy of, let's say that you were a buyer or you were a seller and you were selling your home and you had two offers, one from a buyer that was totally pre-approved, ready to go, and another one who hadn't even spoken to a lender yet. Which one would you consider favorably? Now, use a different analogy, car analogy. Kelly, let's say that you were going to sell your car. Or you were going to buy a car, and there two of the exact same cars were sitting right in front of you. One hadn't been washed since 1975, and was full of crap, and you couldn't see anything. And the other one was pristine, exact same car, exact same mileage, probably in the exact same shape. Which one would you be more interested in, knowing what you know?
Oh, the shiny object one, for sure.
Yeah, you don't have to look through the muck and the mire, right?
Correct.
But what if he said, well, it depends on the price? Well, then I know I would be waiting for that. And you would say what, Matt?
Well, they want the exact same price.
There you go. Checkmate. For the same price.
Same price. Yeah. Which one would you look at more favorably?
Yeah, you'd buy the other one for your mother-in-law. You know you would. Who's next?
Next, we have Daniel and Don.
Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Daniel with KW Naples.
Hi. I want to sell my home, so let me ask, do you believe in staging?
Sure. May I ask who I'm speaking to?
Yeah, my name's Don.
Hey, Don. I certainly believe it's an option, but what do you mean by staging specifically?
Well, I've done a lot of research. I've talked to a bunch of realtors, and man, it just runs the gamut from doing nothing to spending a lot of money.
Yeah, and what's important to you, Don? Do you want to just get it sold, or do you want to get it sold for the most amount of money?
Yeah, I'm going to interject here a second. He just gave you invest nothing and have a lot of money. What's a logical question? He just gave you a range.
Well, which side of the board are you leaning on, Don?
Yeah,
And
where
do
are
you not
you
want
on
to
that
spend any
range?
money? Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to spend any money, or do you want to spend a lot of money?
What
No.
spectrum? What side of the spectrum are you on, Don?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather spend as little as possible.
Can you repeat that one more time?
I'd rather spend as little as possible.
Okay. So in order to give the doctor to give a diagnosis, I'd have to see the patient. Are you available this afternoon at 3, or would tomorrow at 4 be better?
Good transition, Matt.
Yeah, he wants to spend as little as possible. I would address that before I close. So by spending as little as possible, what's most important to you? Selling the home for the absolute most amount of money, or spending as little as possible, but you get it sold?
So Matt, explain to me, please, why you would, in my opinion, you go for the appointment because you have a chance of, the more you talk, the more you have a chance of losing.
No.
Robert, mute yourself.
What?
Come here.
Robert's yelling at me. He said no.
I think he's yelling at his kids.
Yeah.
Maybe his son-in-law.
I would ask, the reason I ask that though is because this has been my experience. I could be proved wrong. I'm open to changing my mind. The two, selling your home for the absolute most amount of money, which we just assume it means net, etc., is not necessarily directly linked to just getting it sold. Just getting it sold means, because what I've said before is, what's most important to you, getting the home sold for the absolute most amount of money and net to you, or is it just getting the home sold? Because either is an option, we can make it happen, but there's going to be a number associated with both.
I was just saying, somebody Google the pros and cons of staging. You can actually, it's funny, Google that'll go with buggy whips probably pretty soon. The term Google.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my point, guys. Matt is experienced. Maybe you guys have some level of experience, but I'm thinking about if you can finally if anybody out there likes bourbon, I collect bourbon. You get a bottle of Pappy's, it's going to be $1,000 or more. And you're at a party, you want to show people the bottle of Pappy's, and they're passing it around. The longer they're passing it around increases the odds of somebody dropping it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I asked Matt the question. Sometimes because the transition there was good. Get the appointment, all those things, right? You can find out why you're there, because I don't think it's integral whether or not you're going to take the listing or not. Now, Matt or somebody else on here that has more experience in holding the bottle carefully can go down that road. But if you don't feel comfortable, take the appointment.
Right. That's why earlier I said, here's the question. Let's see if you shoot yourself in the foot. Because you fumble the bottle, you're done. I asked that question, then I close. Because if Don would have said, oh yeah, no, I just want to get it sold. All right, great. Then we can absolutely talk about that. And I can prepare for that appointment, right? Or if he says, I want to net the absolute most amount of money, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Well, if there were little financial pain associated with that, would you be open to some ideas? And then I would go for the meeting again.
So how many people like this scenario? Raise your hand. We try to keep you nimble, have good things to work on. Again, that's why we call it Recon Mastery. There's going to be some changes moving forward. I've worked with a group here and we have a text stream we're almost at capacity. This Zoom format will allow us to have 100 people. We've talked, and we're not going to go to the next level. It can have up to 5,000 people. We're going to limit it at 100. Right now, we're bumping high 80s, low 90s. So moving forward, we're growing. You want to make sure you get in a little bit early to be the 100 seats. We also are thinking about then doing something with the mastery, whether or not it's on Friday, and I want to give you the plug. It will be this Friday from where is it here? Right here, 1 to 2 Eastern, Denny's Mastery. Generally, the same coaches are on, and we spend an hour having more discussion. We're toying with the idea, and you can put it in the chat real fast. We'll take a look at it and share. You can kill the recording.